ECUs. Scotty D putting down a scored run. Unfortunately, we saw him break in practice yesterday. I believe it was a throwout bearing, so it's great that his team was able to get that machine back and ready for competition. So it looks like he will get a scored run, points in the books, and he will be able to move on to the bracket. So I will announce his scores as soon as we have them. We will be arranging these bottom three drivers in order of the score they put on right now, but they will be in that bottom three positions, 45, 46, and 47, if they can qualify. And Scotty D with an 84, an 8-4 for Scotty D. That's a pretty substantial score, so that would put him in the 45th spot against Taylor Ray. However, we are going to reserve judgment until we get our other two drivers out here, but as soon as we have them locked in, we will announce that so our drivers are ready for competition. And the live stream is live as well. If you'd like to have your friends check it out at home, or if you just want to see some live drone footage of the event, you can head to Riverside Drift's YouTube. And here we go for our next driver. This is May, another driver who had an equipment failure and unable to put down a qualifying lap. So let's see if he's got his machine back together and see what he can do. He is looking super smooth, but obviously our judges would like to see him a little bit deeper in the zones. It's all right, though, if he's being conservative just to get some points on the board to get into the show. Nice run by May. And that will be a 70 for May, a 7-0 for May. That's currently putting him in the 46th spot, and he will go against Manners if that is where he ends up. But we will keep you guys posted. And is this Farrell in the... And finally, we have Aaron Farrell in the Infinity, also double zeroing yesterday, so let's see how he can do. He's initiating right at the last spot on the 3-2-1 cone. Looking a little bit shallow to that center section there, but smooth and keeping it at angle as he crosses across that figure eight, switching back into that third and final outer zone. And across the line, that will be a scored run. Unfortunately, I spoke too soon. That will not be a scored run. Unfortunately, the driver was not at angle by that third orange mark. We need all of our drivers to be at angle in drift by that third mark, or that is a too late initiation and the driver will take a 0, unfortunately. So the final spots here will be Scotty D in the 45th position against Taylor Ray, and May in the 46th position against Troy Manners. We are going to get into our top 64 battles now, so we ask that our drivers take a look at the left side of the bracket. Get ready if you do have a top 64 battle and also a bye run. Our drivers will have the option to drift their bye run, or they can just come off the line to show that their machine is ready for competition. They do not actually have to drift their bye run. We thank you guys for joining us at the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU here at the beautiful Raceway Park in Englishtown, New Jersey. We're about to jump into top 64 battles. We have all of our drivers ready to go, so stay tuned for the action. So let's take a second to go through what the judges are looking for, what we're looking for out of this figure 8. So there are 3 zones here and 1 inner clip. We'll start with the starting line. The lead driver will have to go through a chicane of cones, which you can take a look at if you check out the live stream. Those cones are situated underneath these suites, underneath the tower there. And the lead driver having to go through that chicane allows them to not run away with it, because we want to see nice tight tandems. The chase driver has the option to begin wherever they like. That way they can get right on the door of the lead driver and we can have, again, those nice tight tandems that the judges are looking for. If you direct your attention at the wall there's 3 orange markings on the white wall. That would we refer to as the 3-2-1 cones, because occasionally they are cones. And the drivers have to enter within that zone. They're allowed to enter wherever they like, but again, we just went over that rule. They need to be sideways by the time that third cone of the 3-2-1 cones. There's also a white line across the track that helps our judges to take a look as well, make sure our drivers are sideways. Once they enter, zone number 1 begins. That's an outer zone. They want to see the drivers looking settled, confident, fluid, and at angle through that zone all the way. From there, the drivers will transition across that center section of the track and set themselves up for outer zone number 2. That is the massive outer zone that takes up the entire second part of this figure 8 track. And again, we want to see drivers on throttle through the zone, looking super confident, super settled. That way they will get as close as they can to that 100-point qualifying run. They'll come across and get that one and only inner clip before they then transition into outer zone number 3. This one is a doozy since the wall is so close. We want to see drivers on throttle, looking confident, but making sure that they stay out of that wall. Now, the chase driver's job is to use the lead driver as a moving clipping point. So they want to stay on the door, maintaining proximity, maintaining the same sort of speed, looking settled and fluid against the door of that lead driver. So once we have our battles up, let's see which ones can complete the tasks and move on to the top 32.
I'm Travis Reeder.
I'm Ken Gusick.
I'm Matt Field. I drive Link.
They are the most reliable ECU around, and they always deliver.
Their global tech support gives me the advice I need every time I need it.
Their products are super easy to install and easy to set up for the performance that I want.
They stand behind their products and support their customers.
They're always innovating and delivering great new products and performance features.
I drive
Link.
While we're taking a quick break to get set up for Top 64, we actually have a special treat here. I believe one of the drivers was called out by a crew member, so we're going to let them settle it on the track in crazy karts, because that's how we do it here. So you can turn your attention to underneath the tower, where we can see one of our drivers, I believe that's Derek Madison, and one of his crew members, who I believe is hoping to put it on his door in a crazy kart. I believe they are giving it all she's got, Captain, but those things are much slower than our drift machines that we normally tandem in here. But they've been entering super early here. They're mangying the straight, so I know a few people are mad. Madison in the lead car is looking pretty settled through outer zone number 1, but his boy's putting it on his door. If anyone could tell me that guy's name, would love to announce it. Getting all the way at the edge of the track for outer zone number 2. Entering very early. I wonder what the judges are going to think about that. But again, the chase driver is putting it on Derek's door. I wonder if he's getting nervous out there in that teal crazy kart. Ooh, do we have a straight in here? Uh-oh. That's a 0, boys. Derek's reinitiating towards the end of outer zone number 2. What a rookie maneuver, but pretty good job in the inner clip as he transitions across the center section. His buddy is reeling him in, just planting it on his door the entire time, not fazed by any of Derek's adjustments there. Looking super smooth by both drivers coming into outer zone number 3, maybe even getting the edge of the track, partially the wall there. You think these guys are crazy in these crazy karts, and across the line. What an excellent battle. We saw that. Thank you to all of our spectators who came out for the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU at the beautiful Raceway Park Stadium. We are going to begin our top 64 battles shortly. We're just getting our drivers ready on the left side of the bracket. So make sure you grab some snacks and drinks, get settled in the stands because the action will commence shortly. Shout out to our media team. Anybody in a yellow vest, give it up for them. They're standing out there in the heat today to get you guys some sweet pictures for the internet. So great job, guys. Stay hydrated. Can't wait to see those shots posted online. All right, we need our drivers on the left side of the bracket to head down to grid and get ready to take your runs. Even if you have a bye run, we need you on grid just to show that your machine is ready for competition. So you do not have to drift your bye run, you just need to take off on the line. Let us see you and we'll move on to the next battle. So up first we have Alec Robbins to do his bye run. Of course, if he decides to use the time to just take a nice practice run in front of the crowd, they're more than welcome to drift this as well, just up to the driver. After that, we have a planned battle between Jimmy Oakes and Chris Stevens. Unfortunately, Chris Stevens' car decided to quit on him in practice today, so I believe that will leave Jimmy Oakes with a bye run. But again, we need to see him down on grid just so we can make sure his machine is fit for competition before we move on. After that, we have Ricky Hoffman with a bye run and Rudy Hansen with a bye run. All right, and away we go for our first driver. We have Alec Robbins here taking his bye run. And as you guys can see, he has opted to just give his car a little bit of a shakedown here. He will actually drift that bye run, so go ahead and sit back and enjoy. Again, these drivers here who are taking a bye run, they do have the option to drift or not drift, so no worries that he decided to cut it short. Probably just wanted to feel that car out just a little bit and make sure he is ready for the top 32. All right, so we are well within our top 64 on the left side of the bracket. We saw Robbins taking his bye run right there, and I believe we also saw Jimmy Oakes taking a bye run as well. Again, we're just having these drivers prove that their machines are fit for competition. All they have to do is leave the line. And they are good to go. They'll move into the top 32. We do have some battles here in the top 64, but again, we're going to check out one of our locals here, Ricky Hoffman, taking a bye run as well. He has opted to drift his bye run here just to get a sense of his car. So we'll sit back and enjoy while he takes that machine around the track for his bye run into top 32. Mitchell prepping to take his bye run as well. So we'll see his machine out here. Whether he leaves the line or decides to take a complete run, we'll see him in action for a quick second before he moves into the top 32. Some battles. So after we see Rudy Hansen's bye run and Billy Mitchell's bye run, we will get into our first battle of the top 64. Very exciting stuff, so stay tuned for that shortly. The start line, if we have any of his crew members that want to come up and talk to the judges if something's wrong with his car. But we need him to the start line so he can take his bye run, whether it's just to leave the line, and we can move on from there. run there. They're going to go ahead and send him. Again, he has opted to drift this by run, so we'll just sit back and watch him enjoy this run. Getting a little squirrely there, Rutro. Well, that was one spicy by run. We can to give you guys a little bit of insight in how this track is shaped. So the outside of outer zone number 2, especially the edge of the track, is quite sloped. A little bit hard to see from the stands or from the drone in the air. But if you are flirting with the edge of the track and you so happen to go off, it's very difficult to get it back on there. So he did get the wall a little bit. We hope his crew is able to get that machine back in order and ready for his top 32 battle. All right, here we have Rudy Hansen opting to take his by run with an actual run there. We can enjoy the sounds of that machine and that bright, bright livery as well as he makes his way around outer zone number 2. And transitioning into outer zone number 3, he's given himself plenty of room, but a nice run there. That one's just for you guys, for the crowd from Rudy Hansen. Get ready, everyone, because we have our first battle of the top 32. Zelensky and Budasov. They will battle it out for a spot into the top 32. These are two great drivers. We saw them throwing it down in qualifying and practice earlier today. So let's see how they can battle it out, and let's see who comes out on top. All right, here we see him entering just about before that 3-2-1 spot. Nice, doing a great job here. Coming around outer zone number 2. These two V8s are screaming as they come across that one and only inner clip, transitioning into the third and final outer zone. Give it up for your first battle of the day. Now we're gonna flip him around and let him run again. You guys are checking out the replay there. You can see Zelensky leading and Budasov giving chase. As soon as the drivers are ready, we're gonna flip them around and let them go one more time. Our judges are taking a look at the replay just so they can get some mental notes of which driver they thought did a better job in their respective positions. But the good news is we're flipping them around and allowing them to run again to see how Zelensky can perform in chase and how Budasov can lead. And away we go. Budasov entering a little bit early than Zelensky did, doing a great job of filling that first outer zone and getting to the edge of the track. Coming around outer zone number 2. Budasov leaving the zone just a little bit, but he looks like he's getting back in, and that allows Zelensky to really put it on his door there as they transition into that third and final outer zone. Wow, these drivers are pretty evenly matched in my book. I think their judges have their work cut out for them with this first battle of the top 64. Again, thank you to all of our spectators, drivers, and crew for coming out to the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU. We're just into our first battle of the top 64, and the judges are deliberating because we have two longtime friends doing battle against each other, and they do drive together quite often, so that's why they're almost evenly matched there. So the judges will be splitting hairs as they decide which one will win and get to move on, or perhaps we might get another one more time. And we do have a winner by split decision. Colin Zielinski will move on. Colin Zielinski gets the win and moves on into top 32. The judges having a tough job of deciding that battle with it being so close and being our very first battle of the top 64. They just felt that Zielinski had just a slightly better lead and a slightly better chase than his counterpart, so he did get awarded the win there. But again, it was split decision, so it was a difficult choice by the judges. With that said, we will move on to our next battle, which is Dirk Stratton and Sebastian Gauthier. And away we go. Dirk Stratton is leading and Sebastian Gauthier is giving chase. Dirk Stratton showing us what he's made of as he gets super aggressive into outside zone number 1, transitioning into outside zone number 2. Sebastian making some concessions there to put it on Dirk's door. Dirk getting super close to that inner clip as he comes around the outside to outer zone number 3. We lose him in the smoke for the second there, and they're over the line. Nice, super aggressive run in the lead by Dirk Stratton, but Sebastian not letting him get away in that chase position. Now we will flip him around and run him again, this time with Sebastian leading and Dirk Stratton chasing. All right, I believe we have a restart there. It's hard to see the lights if they are on, but I'll explain to you guys a little bit about that super quick. So when I was explaining earlier about the cones underneath the tower, we're calling that the chicane. If the lead driver hits any sort of those cones, knocks them over, pushes them, or if he jumps the start, it will be a restart. And 3 restarts is a 0. So we want our lead drivers to navigate that chicane as carefully as possible. And again, we have that on purpose. We allow our lead drivers and our chase drivers to get super close to one another. And away we go. Sebastian Gauthier leading, entering nice and early, but not getting quite as deep as we'd like to see him in outer zone number 1 or outer zone number 2 there. Dirk Stratton absolutely planting it on his door as he surges forward. Maybe even a little bit of contact there, trying to assert dominance in the chase position as he comes around the corner. And again, plastered to Sebastian's door. Great job there by both drivers. Our drivers are pausing on the line there so they can wait on the decision from our judges to see who they will award the win and who is going to have to head back to the pits and pack it up. And it is unanimous. Dirk Stratton gets the win. Dirk Stratton gets the win and will move on to top 32. Again, I think we saw just a little bit of a difference. Obviously, Dirk was super aggressive in that chase position, and Sebastian Gauthier could have done a little bit better of a job in getting and staying in those zones. So Dirk did win out there with the judges. And we will move on to our next run. I believe this will be a bye run from TLO. See a little bit of a more relaxed run there. Whether TLO will take his bye run or just leave the line remains to be seen. All right, we have TLO taking his bye run, and judging by the aggression, I believe he will drift this, tossing in a ton of angle, but maybe not getting quite all the way deep in outer zone number one. Again, totally all right because this is a bye run. We can hear that V8 screaming in that S chassis as he comes around outer zone number two and transitions into outer zone number three. No stranger to that wall in practice yesterday, but he does look super confident nonetheless. Give it up for TLO with his bye run. Thank you for blessing us with that. All right, we have Rome Charpentier joining us from Formula Drift and gracing us with another bye run here. This guy is known to be super aggressive, and we can obviously see why as he's throwing it down for his bye run, just pouring smoke. We saw Rome dooring people in practice, so we love to see it out here, and I know the judges are going to reward aggression very heavily, so nice job there by Rome Charpentier for his bye run into top 32. We have Matt Bystrak, a local here to Raceway Park, and Al Herbali will be chasing him. These two drivers qualified fairly close together yesterday, so we will probably have a nice battle again for you guys here, so stay tuned. We can hear them warming up tires in the burnout box. They're getting ready for their battle. Again, this is Bystrak leading and Al Herbali will chase. Hey, the judge, oh, there we go, and away they go. But I believe that will be a restart. Again, we need our lead driver to have a clean getaway from those cones. So if he does not have a clean getaway, whether he jumps the start or whether he hits one of the cones, knocks him over, they will bring him back and go again. So we have those two drivers back on the line there, so we can run them again, Bystrak and Al Herbali. All right, and away we go with Bystrak in the lead, and Al Herbali giving chase in that borrowed car, but he's looking super comfy as he reels in the door of Bystrak. Still, Bystrak is no stranger to this track, and he's looking super comfortable and dialed in that S13 as they come across the start-finish line. This time we have Al Herbali leading and Matt Bystrak giving chase. Al Herbali is looking very fast in the lead, and Bystrak falling back just a little bit in outer zone number 2, but he reels them back into outer zone number 3 as they're screaming across the start-finish line. And we did have a very close battle. Again, the judges are deliberating, just taking a closer look at the lead and chase between Bystrak and Al Herbali before they will determine a winner here and send them into the top 32. And the judges have come to a decision. Unanimously, Bystrak gets the win. Bystrak gets the win and will move on to top 32. Yeah, again, that was a very close battle, but the judges felt like Bystrak had more smooth and better presence there. And Al Herbali in the chase did have a little bit of a straighten across the center section and didn't quite do as well of a job getting to outer zone number 3 as they would have liked. So again, we're splitting hairs here, but they did award Bystrak the win there. And we will move on to our next battle. We need Scotty D on the line for his battle. Scotty D, you have to go up against Taylor Ray right now, and we do not want you to forfeit. So hustle it up, respectfully.
BTR, he's right here.
On the line, we see you guys chilling in your pit. Please send your driver up. Scotty, give us a wave if you will be heading to the line.
Scott! Keep yelling him. Scott, Scott.
Scott, turn around for your judges, please. Will you be coming to the line? That looks like thumbs down, yes? All right. Unfortunately, I believe Scotty D is done for the day, so we will send Taylor Ray on a bye run. Taylor Ray will have to leave the line to show us that his machine is capable of going through a drift. And it looks like he will decide to drift this bye run. Nicely done by Taylor Ray there, getting lucky with a bye run. He's going to move into the top 32. Unfortunately, I believe Scotty D's bad luck has caught up with him today, so Taylor Ray will move on. All right, up next we have Dmitry Brutsky to take his bye run. Dmitry Brutsky joining us again from Formula Drift, another driver that is well familiar with this track, and it looks as if he has decided to grace us with a full run as well. Dmitry is a super aggressive driver, looking really confident here in that E46 as he comes around outer zone number 2. No issues there with his machine, so he will advance into top 32. Nicely done by Dmitry Brutsky. We do have one more bye run before we head into another battle. So we will see Trevor Root, another driver joining us from Formula Drift Pro Spec. He's no stranger to this track with Formula Drift and with the Gambler. So we should see a nice smooth run here from Trevor Root if he decides to take his bye run. If not, we just need him to leave the line so that the judges can see he is fit for competition, and he will move into the top 32. That was Trevor Root with his bye run there. Trevor Root showing us that his machine is fit for competition. So he will move into the top 32. And we do have a battle coming up that was supposed to be between Colin Cressette and Colette Davis. I just got word from Davis's crew that she will not be bringing her machine up to the line. Unfortunately, she's had a mechanical failure, so she will have to drop out of competition. So Colin Cressette will get a bye run here in the top 32. He was expecting to have to do battle with Colette Davis, but unfortunately, potentially due to a hit in practice earlier, her machine is not fit for competition, and she will be bowing out respectfully. So we'll see Colin Cressette taking off on the line here for his bye run. Nice job by Colin Cressette to complete that bye run and move on into the top 32. Up next, we have Ben Zislin and Adam LZ, the man himself, coming off a win here at Formula Drift last weekend. Adam will be going up against Ben Zislin in the Funhaver RTR S197. So it should be a nice, interesting battle between these two guys, both familiar with this track. Ben is a little bit of a younger driver, so he's starting out, but we're very impressed with what we've seen so far. So we should see the rookie going up against a vet. We should have a good battle ahead of us, so stay tuned. And away we go. Ben Zislin will be in the lead, and Adam LZ will give chase. Ben looking a little bit hesitant there as he comes across the center section, but laying in the throttle for outer zone number 2. And Adam LZ, being the veteran driver here, is putting it right on his door in that E36 as they come around to outer zone number 3. Nicely done by both drivers there. Let's flip them around and let Adam lead and Ben Zislin chase. And away we go again. Adam LZ in the lead and Ben Zislin giving chase. Adam showing a super aggressive and early entry as he comes through outer zone number 1. Ben getting a little hung up there and falling back as they come into outer zone number 2. Adam looking super dialed in the lead, and Ben coming in, taking out of that cone in the chase. Both these drivers throwing it down here at Raceway Park for their top 64 battle. We're gonna leave this one in the hands of the judges as they deliberate. But the good news is if you guys are tuned in to the live stream on Riverside Drift's YouTube channel, you guys can check out the replay and make a decision for yourselves on which driver you think should move on, while our judges do the same and deliberate this battle. Thank you again to our drone pilots and our live stream crew here, allowing us to have those replays and have us have that live stream for all of you guys watching from home. Thank you guys so much. Give it up for our drone pilots. And we do have a decision. Adam LZ will get the win. Adam LZ will get the win. Moving on to our top 32. Up next, we have Ben Hobson. He will be doing a bye run here. Again, these drivers are allowed to just leave the line. They do not have to drift, but it's kind of nice that they've been giving us a few drift runs to entertain us in the meantime. They probably want to take this opportunity just to make sure their car is feeling fit for competition, see what the track's looking like and feeling like before they move in to the top 32. And with this bye run by Hobson, that does bring us to the end of the left side of our bracket for top 64, and we'll go ahead and move on to the other side of the bracket. Same sort of situation. We have about half the drivers taking bye runs there, qualifying well enough, and then the other half will have some battles. So let's listen to this run by Hobson for his bye run. I think this part's just for the crowd, guys. Give it up for Ben Hobson, putting a show on there for everyone in attendance. Nice job. I will take this moment to remind the drivers that in an actual competition, you cannot spin over the line. But I think that one was just to give the crowd a little something while they wait for some more battles. And with that, we will be heading into the right side of the bracket. We're going to see a bye run from Nick Novak to kick it off. All right, so we can see Novak here, just gonna give us a little 1-2, little something for the fans. Again, like we said earlier, the driver does not actually have to take a full lap here if they don't want to, if they're saving their machine, saving tires. It is very hot out today, so they do not have to do that if they have their bye run. We saw him take the start line, so he will go ahead and move on into our top 32. Up next, we do have a battle between Max Kimlin and Louis Lance. I believe these are two Corvette drivers. Two C6 Corvette drivers. This should be an interesting battle. Max is no stranger to this track either. Regular at the Gambler and just a regular in general. This time Max will lead, Max Kimlin, and Louis Lance will give chase. Max entering just at that third spot of the 3-2-1 cones, heading just around the outside of the track there. Louis really reeling him in, putting it on his door as they come around that one and only inner clip and transition to the outer zone number 3. Honestly, both of these drivers are looking great. Max looking better than he was in practice, but Louis just putting it on his door. This should be an interesting battle as we flip him around. Check, check, check. All right, we have the guys going again. This time, Louis is leading and Max Kimlin will give chase. Louis putting a huge gap there as he comes around to outer zone number 2. A small correction there that allows Max Kimlin to catch up to his door in the chase position. Both of these Corvettes are pouring smoke as they come across the center section and around to the outside of outer zone number 3. Woo, careful there, Max. Don't let it get away from you, buddy. Nice job by both of our Corvette drivers there. The judges are going to take a look at the replay and come up with a winner who's moving on to our top 32.
All right, what's up, guys? This is Ryan from Riverside Drift. Just to give you a little bit of a background, Louis had some issues earlier with his fueling system, so he is currently chancing his engine to get into this top 64 battle. He was wanting to try to use a backup car, but we do require that all drivers use the vehicle they qualified in for competition with us here this weekend.
Good job,
Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, we did see him practicing in that red Corvette. Lucky for him, he has 2 of those. Nice. Very nice. But he did bring that carbon fiber one out here today for competition. And while we're just hanging out here, we are having our judges take a look at these runs. Again, we have 2 very similarly matched machines who drove pretty similar to each other, in my opinion. You know, I'm not one of the ones making the call, so it's not up to me. But the judges are deliberating. I believe it is very close, so I will let you know as soon as we have a decision. And we do have a decision. This will be a split decision. Lanes will get the win and move on. Lanes will get the win. Thanks for playing, Max. A pleasure as always. Just kidding. We're just joking around. He's a regular here at the track, Formula Drift. So we love to see Max out, and honestly, he did some great driving today. So thank you so much for coming out, Max. But he will have to pack it up and just chill with us in the stands for the rest of the day. Not too much of a punishment since there is food trucks, there's a bar open. If you want to support our friends at Riverside Drift, you can grab some merch at the other end of the bleachers. Show your support that you're here. Happy to be out at the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU at the beautiful Raceway Park Stadium, the one and only track that Formula Drift runs on as well. A nice day, all in all, for racing fans. All right, we have Trenton Beecham here taking a lap around the track. You guys are going to get some cool drone footage of this car. Just a little treat, as we were saying before. The drivers don't actually have to drift. They can take this opportunity, just take a lap around the track, do a little 180 off of the start line, but we do not require them to drift for their buy run. But hey, it's nice to look at that E46 anyway, in my opinion. So. Up next, we have Rad Dan, another driver joining us from Formula Drift, trying to grab some of that prize money. No stranger to the stadium here at Raceway Park. He will be up on the line to take his buy run to send him straight into top 32. And as you guys can see this bracket kind of forming, if you want to head over to the Riverside Drift Facebook page, it is posted there. You can see that Rad Dan will have Trenton Beecham in the top 32 battle. So these two drivers that just took buy runs back to back. And I'm excited to see it. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see some more tandems. And away we go. We have Rad Dan. Let's listen to those sweet sounds as he takes his buy run. Always a pleasure to see and hear that Supra taking a turn around the track. And that will lead us into Denton's buy run. Denton will be throwing down a buy run as well, but we have a battle between Alex Jaeger and Alan Boss directly afterwards, so stay tuned. All right, we have Denton taking his buy run, tossing in a ton of angle on that S14. Let's listen to some sweet sounds as he makes his way around the track. All right, Drift fans, get ready. We have our first battle on the opposite side of the bracket. Alex Jaeger also joining us from Formula Drift Pro Spec, going up against Alan Boss, a regular at the Gamblers, and he did previously drive here on the stadium in that black Yeet Fleet 370Z. We have both Nissan battle coming up here. Alex Jaeger will lead, and Alan Boss will chase on the first run here. Alex Jaeger qualifying higher than Boss, so he will get to lead, but not quite high enough to receive a buy run there, but that's all right. We have confidence in both of these drivers, and the fans, myself included, want to see a good, nice tandem battle here, so let us go. And away they go. We can see Alex Jaeger in that NOS Energy 370Z coming around the first outer zone, looking super quick and dialed as he throws it back into the second outer zone. And Alan Boss in that Yeet Fleet 350Z trying to reel him in, but Alex is very fast. Alan Boss has a V8 under the hood of that 350Z, but it is not enough to get it on the door of Alex Jaeger, who looks to be on a mission to move on into top 32. But luckily we will be swapping those drivers around, and Boss will have a chance to lead, and Alex Jaeger will chase him down. And away they go with Alan Boss leading this one, and Alex Jaeger is going to reel him in. Both drivers initiate almost simultaneously as we see Alex Jaeger just pulling on that reel as Alan Boss just super smooth in that second outer zone, pouring smoke off that Yeet Fleet machine, coming through that inner clip and taking it with him as he transitions into outer zone at number 3. Alex Jaeger pouring smoke as he puts it alongside of that door. Give it up for both of these Z's coming out here to do battle today. And we have a winner. Alex Jaeger gets the win. Alex Jaeger will move on into top 32 battle. So although the chases seem to be the less scored than the leads, actually that was the decider for that last battle. The judges felt like both drivers did a decent job on their lead run, but Alex Jaeger just managed to reel him in closer in the chase, just did a slightly better job in the chase, so he will earn moving on into the top 32. But we thank Alan Boss for coming out today, doing a great job driving that Yeet Fleet machine.
I'll swap you for this one. He is one of our repeat podium guys from the Midwest, making the trip out here to E-Town in New Jersey. So we're hoping he can have some good success today. He is going to be going up against Shane O'Rourke in that Corvette. So hopefully both drivers are able to put together something good for you guys today. Getting them prepped there underneath the bridge as they make their way into the start chicane. Judges have given the all clear. Austin's got his arms up, and off they go. So as long as we get a clean start, making their way down here into the initiation point, Jacob Anderson leads Shane O'Rourke in the first half, making 3-2-1 down into outer zone number 1. Shane makes a bit of a late dive as they transition across the middle of the track into outside zone number 2. Jacob Anderson gets a good lead there, trying to make up the ground in the chase position, but shallowing up a little bit, not filling the zone as they transition around into outer zone number 3. Both drivers across the line. We're going to swap them up, lead for chase, and see what happens on the second half of this battle in your top 64 here at the Riverside Drift Link ECU 50K in New Jersey.
And away we go for the second part of this battle. We're going to flip him around and let him go again. We can see that Corvette entering right in the center of that zone where we want to see him. And the white E36 putting it a little bit, oh dear. So unfortunately, that will be a 0 for O'Rourke. And I unofficially will give this to Anderson.
And once we get down to this here, all the drivers have to leave it all on the track. So unfortunately, the aggression did not pay off in that lead position, and he did make contact with the wall going into outside zone number 2, punting him off track there towards the media tower. So that unfortunately will end his day here with us at Riverside Drift.
It does happen in drifting sometimes. Guys get a little bit too crazy, especially in outer zone number 2. And you know what? Sometimes you yee and sometimes you haw. Up next, we have Jonathan Nairn taking a bye run. Jonathan Nairn should be heading up to the line in that V8-powered S14 to give us a little bit taste, potentially, because he does not have to do an entire drift run. He can just leave the line and head back to the pits to save that machine. But I do believe we're going to get to see a nice run here by Jonathan Nairn. These drivers getting a little bit crazy with the end of outer zone at number 2. Like I said earlier, the track does fall off quite a bit. There's a slope to outer zone number 2, so if you're flirting with the edge of the track, there's a good chance you're getting dirt. And Nairn did grab some dirt on his bye run, but hopefully that machine is unscathed and he can head into his top 32 battle. And up next, we have another bye run from our number 3 qualifier, FDF driver Josiah Falaise, up on the line for his bye run. He also got a little bit crazy towards the end of practice, got part of the outer zone 2 wall, so we hope both the driver and the car are doing all right and we can see him take that start and that his machine is ready for competition. And it looks like it is. Josiah Falaise giving us a nice taste of his run here for his bye run. Let's listen to it. Super fast, super smoky, just his style from our friends in the Great White North. Nice bye run by Josiah Falaise. We will now move in to our next battle on the opposite side of the bracket for top 64. This will be Guitard against Human Rahimi. Guitard qualifying just slightly higher than Human, so he will lead and Human Rahimi will give chase. Those drivers should be heading up to the burnout box to get their machines warmed up and up onto the line. Again, this should be a close battle given these drivers qualified very close to one another. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out qualifying yesterday, but some of our drivers' runs were within tenths fractions of one another, so we did have to do quite a few tiebreakers. We saw some amazing driving yesterday from our drivers, so this should be another exciting battle to round out the top 64. Our judges are ready. Our drivers are heading up to the line, and they will get the go-ahead from our fabulous grid worker who sends those 2 drivers. Guitard will be leading, and Rahimi will give chase. Guitard is another driver joining us from Canada, looking super smooth and maybe not quite a lot of angle as Human. Oh my! Human trying to get aggressive in the chase there, but too aggressive as he catches that bumper of the Z into the wall. We see Guitard finishing his run. And they will switch it around and run again, but that does put Rahimi at a large disadvantage with a 0 on his chase run, unfortunately. All right, we have the second half of this battle underway. Rahimi will lead and Guitard will give chase. My apologies there. Rahimi is at a large disadvantage from that chase run. Guitard has given him a little bit of room here. I don't know if his spotter has told him that he is at a disadvantage, but he is hanging back quite a bit as they come around outer zone number 3. Our judges are going to take a look at that, make sure there's no funny business on that next run. But barring a 0 for Guitard, he will likely move on. But we're going to let it be up to the judges. I will fill you in when they have a decision. And let's make it official. Guitard is going to get the win. Guitard gets the win. He will move on to top 32. Unfortunately, that big error in the chase by Hubin Rahimi will have him knocked out early. But hey, that's drifting. Up next, we have Troy Manners going up against one of our last chance qualifier drivers, May. He had some bad luck yesterday with his machine getting into the wall and unable to put a run down. So let's see if his team was able to fix it overnight and get it ready for battle against Troy Manners, who is no stranger to drifting and no stranger to this course. So it's going to be a tall order for our lowest qualifying driver, May, to take out Manners. But hey, stranger things have happened. This should be a good battle nonetheless. One of our final battles in top 64. We have 5 more battles to run here, 2 more actual battles and 3 bye runs after this. We're gonna take a break here between top 32 and top 64, to give you guys a chance to get out of the sun, get some food, get ready. We'll be resuming the live stream at 6 p.m. We will start top 32. And away we go with our battle. Troy Manners is leading and May will give chase. Manners entering just before that last cone of the 3-2-1 cones as he comes around, and unfortunately, I believe that's a straighten on May in the chase position. The judges are going to take a look at it here, but unfortunately, if May did straighten, that will be a 0 in the chase position, putting him at an incredible disadvantage against Manners. May did have some car trouble here, getting his E36 into the wall, which is never what we want to see, but the car may be still struggling a bit from that impact and unable to make a clean run. But again, stranger things have happened. We are going to flip him around, and this time May will lead and Manners will chase. So we're going to get them back on the line, and when they are ready, send them for the second half of this battle. Our drivers are sent, and away they go. May this time leading, and Manners giving chase. Looks like a bit of a hiccup there on entry. Not sure what's going on here, so I'm gonna leave it up to our judges and our grid workers. Potentially that was a non-entry on May's part. So we did get confirmation that was not a restart. That will be a scored run. So the judges are going to take a look at May's entry. The drivers are not allowed to enter twice. They need to make their entry and stick with it. So if there was a double initiation, that will be held against May there. So we're going to take a look. Judges are going to deliberate, and we'll see what we have here.
Now, unfortunately, up here in the stand, we are not the judges. Me and Sarah do not make the call on this. But if you're asking me, the way I see that, that's a missed shift there. So Troy Manners would be kind of thrown off by that and unable to chase. But we'll see what they have as an official call.
Judges also have the ability to send it one more time as well if they thought it was super spooky. So I'm going to go to them and see if they have an answer for me as to who moved on there. All right, our judges have deliberated, and unfortunately, due to the straighten in the chase position and that entry, they are going to give it to Manners. Unfortunately, May is knocked out there. Tough luck from that driver. He did get into the wall yesterday, so I don't know if his machine is having a hard time, but unfortunately, they said due to the miss shift on that second run, it threw off the chase, so that would fall under an unchaseable lead, unfortunately. But we are very proud of him for getting his machine back together, getting out on the start line here. And at least putting it down there, trying to throw it down and get the win there. But unfortunately, Manners will move on. Well, fortunately for Manners and his crew, they will move on. And we have another bye run here that we get to tune into by Andy Haley. Nice job from the E46 of Haley. He did give us a nice run to look at for his bye run. He will be moving into the top 32. We have 2 more bye runs and 2 more battles for you guys to round out the top 64. And again, we will be taking a short intermission. As soon as we're done here in top 64, we're going to take a break. So grab some food, grab some shade, and get ready for top 32 at 6 p.m. Up next on the line, we have Derek Madison to take his bye run. Derek Madison in that V8-powered S15. We'll see if he graces us with a nice full run or if he'll just go ahead and take the green light and head back to the pits to save his car for top 32 competition. Judging by the silliness factor from the driver, we did see him running a crazy kart during the break. I have a feeling he's going to put on a little bit of a show here for the fans, so we'll have to stick around and see. After that, we do have Rich Whiteman going against Rodriguez in another Yeet Fleet vehicle. So we will see them do battle towards the end of our top 64 bracket. Again, thank you guys, all the fans, crew, drivers, media, for coming out to the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU. We love to see all these Drift fans gathered in one place, checking out their favorite drivers, putting it around that figure 8. So thank you guys for coming out today, and thank you all for tuning in at the live stream at home. We have the word Derek Madison is ready for his bye run. And again, if you guys are looking for stuff to do during the break, we have t-shirts at the far end of the bleachers. We have some snacks and drinks at the other side. Plenty to do as you wait for top 32. We can see Derek Madison taking the green light here shortly for his bye run.
All right, we can hear Derek Madison warming up down there behind the tower in that burnout box as we await his arrival there with Austin on the start line. Again, this is a bye run, so he is automatically into the top 32, but he's not exactly one to go for a boring show. So as he pulls that Fuel Lab S14 point, whatever you want to call it, up here to the line, we will see something, I'm sure, that will be entertaining. And he's off the line here, making his way under the tower into the initiation. Nice and early there at the 1 mark, up onto the wall, putting that back driver's side tire all the way out to the white line as he makes the transition here into outside zone number 2. Bringing it around nice and deep, lots of angle there as he makes his way around here to the So In Love Home matchmaking flag at your inner clip. Transitioning into outer zone number 3. Nice and deep there onto the edge of the track. Good swing up onto the wall there at the Link ECU pendant flags and across the line. So again, he is cemented into the top 32 and he makes his way into the exit. Next up, you are going to have Rich Whiteman and Casey Rodriguez. That will be your next head-to-head battle as we make our way through the bottom right corner of your top 64 bracket here.
Yeah, my co-host here and I have a debate about what we're going to call that car. I mean, technically it's probably an S14 with S15 headlights and taillights on it, so S15 body panels, I don't know. It's not right-hand drive, I know that much. But hey, it is fun to watch and fun to listen to as we get into our third to last battle. We're rounding out the top 64 here. We thank you guys for tuning in to the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU at beautiful Raceway Park here at the stadium. Gosh, I do love a good day of drifting, guys. Whiteman and Rodriguez, I hear them taking their battle here. Whiteman is leading and Rodriguez is giving chase. Whiteman looking super quick, throwing on, oh no. See, announcers curse him. I was just about to say how smooth and great of a driver Rich is. He's got a ton of laps here, but that's part of competition. The craziest stuff happens, and unfortunately, that will be an incomplete for Rich Whiteman. In the chase position, Rodriguez does not have to follow that crazy line. That's what we refer to as an unchaseable lead, and that will earn Rich Whiteman a 0. So now Casey Rodriguez will be leading, and Rich Whiteman will giving chase.
Just jumping back in on the second half of that there. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him as we switch him around here with Casey Rodriguez in the lead. Rich Whiteman gives chase, hoping for a fault from Casey Rodriguez in the lead position to try to offset it right on the door and puts him in an odd spot, little bound up, transitioning into outside zone number 2. Unfortunately not able to close that gap back up as Casey makes his way past the So In Love Home matchmaking inner clip there. And we'll have to wait for the official call from the judges, but if you ask me, that looks like that will be Casey Rodriguez.
Yeah, unfortunately, that does look like it's going to be a clean run. So the judges will have to deliberate just in case, but I do think that 0 out of which Rich Whiteman is going to earn him an L there, unfortunately. And let's make it official. Rodriguez gets the win. Rodriguez gets the win. He'll be moving on to our top 32 battle. Later on today, top 32 will start at 6 p.m. So we're doing a little bit of a break here after top 64 so that our track workers can prep the track, our drivers can take a breather, fans can grab some food, and then we'll pick back up at the action at 6 p.m. Up next, we have another battle between Shorkey and O'Sully. We have those two drivers in the burnout box as we speak, prepping their tires, getting ready for their battle. All right, and away we go for this battle. We have Shorkey leading in that Corvette and O'Sully giving chase in that white and blue E46. O'Sully looking super fast and aggressive in that Corvette, but O'Sully is reeling him in. Sorry, Shorkey there. Shorkey in the vet is looking super, super quick, but O'Sully is absolutely plastered to his door. This is an exciting battle. Give it up for both drivers. And if you guys are part of the car show, I just heard them announce they are going to be doing the trophies. So if you're up for a potential trophy in the car show, go ahead and head over to the stage. Best of luck to you guys as we finish out this battle here between Shorkey and O'Sully. This time O'Sully will lead in that white and blue BMW and Shorkey will give chase. O'Sully absolutely hitting rocket speed as he enters there super fast. Not quite as deep into outer zone number 2 as we would like, but he's really gapping Shorkey there in the chase position. Shorkey is cutting a little bit of angle out to try to reel him back in, but O'Sully is just super, super fast in the lead position. That was a wild battle there. Our judges have the side-by-side courtesy of the drone. They're gonna take a look at that there, deliberate, and come up with a winner. And the judges have a decision. O'Sully will get the win. O'Sully will get the win. You know, I am not a judge, so I just talking to the stick. But if it was up to me, I would say that super aggressive and fast lead and just Shorkey not being able to keep up in the chase probably is what swayed the judges. But again, both drivers putting on an amazing show. Thank you guys for coming out today. We have one more bye run, and then we're going to pack it up until 6 p.m. for our top 32. We have Steve Mischief Misco up on the line. Matt, his brother, is joining us from California. Thank you, Matt. He's really into BMWs, but he did take a break from loving BMWs to come out here and support his brother, who is driving that V8-powered S14. There are definitely more than one debate in that household over the proper chassis for drifting, but we'll leave it up to Steve to put on a good show. Let's make sure he does not earn his name on his bye run there. We can hear him taking off from the line. And let's listen to that V8 scream as he completes his bye run. All right, folks, that will do it for our top 64 at the Riverside Drift 50K presented by Link ECU. Thank you guys all for coming out. We are going to take a quick break to prep the track. We will begin top 32 at 6 p.m. So go grab some shade, grab some water, get ready. We'll bring up the action back around 6 p.m. So make sure you're in the stands and ready to go. I'll see you then.
I'm Travis Reeder.
I'm Ken Gucci.
I'm Matt Field. I drive Link.
They are the most reliable ECU around, and they always deliver.
Their global tech support gives me the advice I need every time I need it.
Their products are super easy to install and easy to set up for the performance that I want.
They stand behind their products and support their customers.
They're always innovating and delivering great new products and performance features.
I drive
I drive
I drive Link.